We're standing on the farm that belonged to my grandfather. And one of the reasons that I became interested in healthy soils was because of what my grandfather did to his own farm. He owned a cotton gin about a mile off my right shoulder, and this farm was in perpetual cotton for years. And it was dissed and harrowed and dew-alled to death. Organic matter was about 1%. It crusted. While it tested very well, if you looked at nutrients, it was an evil thing to try to farm. And I set to trying to make it better. We grew sorghum and then put in an irrigation system, grew wheat and beans and left the wheat stubble starting in the early 80s. Then put in an irrigation system and started growing high stover crops like corn very often, way lots more than most folks say you should. And I built this organic matter up on this farm. This farm was planted in Austrian winter peas in the fall of 2011. The drought of 2012 came. We planted it late because of the Austrian winter peas into the drought. It made an acceptable corn crop, I think 175 or 80 bushels irrigated, and I think we were 80 or 90 outside the circle. After that, we followed it with a wheat crop in the fall of 12, harvested it in June, planted it in a soybean crop, June of 13, and we're standing on the remnants of all that and the corn crop from before that. This farm is infinitely better than it was in 1985. You'll find lots of earthworms. You find it pleasant to walk on. It's not hard or uncomfortable. Infiltration rates are very high, and this is a terribly productive farm. It's not at all unusual to take way north of 200 bushels of corn off of it. Not at all unusual to take way north of 65 bushels of soybeans off of it. It's not at all unusual to take 100 bushel wheat off of it. Sure, we participate in EQIP, we participate in, we look at a lot of conservation programs. We're very conservation minded, I think, and we wind up participating in a lot of conservation programs and typically do things external to programs as well that we might have learned, best management practices we might have learned in the programs. Whenever anybody utilizes cover crops or no-till, it makes this land easier and simpler to farm. But what a lot of people don't understand about success is overnight success comes always after years of hard work. I'll tell you the truth. Conservation farming isn't always the easiest way to farm. Just like raising children the way I was raised, giving them a punishment when they do something bad and accolades when they do something good, isn't always the easiest way to raise children at first. But both of them are always better in the long run, always.